Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you on Business Today Television. I'm your host, Shail, joining you from Noida. As always, it's the weekly expiry of the Nifty today, and the markets remain in sideways band. There are many things that we can check up. Let's see what happened overnight on Wall Street, where the US Federal Reserve held its interest rates steady between 4.25 and 4.5%, and over the next 6 months or so said that there would be two more rate cuts. US markets ended flat. In fact, the Dow Jones index slipped 50 points after an intraday burst of over 300 points. The reason for the negativity was US Federal Reserve Chair Mr. Jeremy Powell said that he sees higher inflation in the coming months and sees lower GDP growth. So all that getting plotted into the market. Now I'll request the PCR to show you the longer term chart of the Nifty. As you can see, since 11th of May, the Nifty is in a sideways band. The upper region is 25,200 and the lower band is 24,700. This is a 300-400 point range in which the Nifty has caught up as far as markets are concerned. Since it's the last weekly expiry for the month of June, let us now take a view as to what is likely to happen. Remember that the Nifty is gyrating to global cues. There is nothing wrong in our markets, but with rising tensions in the Middle East, the war between Israel and Iraq, which continues unabated, crude oil prices which remain inflated around $73 a barrel, and that's the reason, ladies and gentlemen, India as a net importer of crude oil, we use somewhere like 5.5 million barrels a day. That's the reason why you see that there is an overhang on the Indian market, especially Nifty. It refuses to move up. Bears are very strong at 25,200. It's the weekly expiry today. Let's look at the Nifty performance in the month of June. So far, you've seen the index flat in the month of June, down about 1%. Bank Nifty is up about 0.7%, and if you see the last 5 sessions, you've seen the Nifty actually dip 1.5%. So slowly but certainly you see selling pressure being on top of bulls. Now let's examine the top performers as far as the weekly changes are concerned. You'll see IndusInd Bank, Tech Mahindra, Maruti, Trent and SBI Life being the top performers in the last week, up between 2% and 3.5%. On a similar trend, you will see lots of selling pressure coming into Tata Motors, Dr. Reddy's, specifically Adani Ports. Remember, it has a port in Israel, and that's a bit of a dampener for the stock. That port is also under attack from Israeli missiles. Sun Pharma and Geofin are the 4th and the 5th top losers in the Nifty. Total losses between 2.3 and 5.4% as far as the top 5 losers are concerned. One more important thing is that given that the Nifty has slipped 1.5% in the last 5 trading sessions, there are equal chances that you will see a strong bout of short covering that the market might undergo. Apart from that, you will see strength coming in defense counters again, in particular Mazagon Dock, Garden Reach and Cochin Shipbuilders. Media reports pointing out that the government is doing all out as far as building fresh ship capacity in India is concerned. What we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, is now shift focus. We are welcoming Mr. Devin Choksi, Managing Director at DR Choksi Finserv Private Limited. Namaste Devin Bhai, what a pleasure to welcome you after many weeks. How do you see sentiment on Dalal Street? We seem to be caught in a very narrow trading range which refuses to break. Bears will not give up 25,200, bulls will not give up 24,700. What should the retail investor do?
morning, Shail. Retail investors should not trade. That is one liner. This market is giving plenty of opportunities. Frankly, I think whenever these heavyweights they shift their positions, they bring the stock price down. That's where I think the retail investors gets opportunity to buy some of the good quality stocks. For example, yesterday a block deal happened for Hindustan Zinc, and the company's fundamentals remain absolutely strong and convincing. Both silver as well as in zinc, the business condition remains absolutely very strong. At the same time, the new capacity expansion program is coming up going forward, and that is also going to have its advantage. So, if you are an investor, these are the times when you get an opportunity when the stock price is fallen from what it used to be to what it has come down to almost 50, 60 rupees fall probably happened, I think, in the stock price. So, in my viewpoint, I think that is one opportunity that you get in the listed market. Similarly, in the listed market, I think there are plenty of long-term investment opportunities that you keep getting from time to time. Because in the near term, the market is always priced to perfection. So as a result of which, institution traders as well as the derivative traders, they will ensure that the prices and the values they match up with the actual valuations. So from that perspective, I believe that I think you have opportunity only when the market is one during the sale of. So create a good portfolio or good quality stocks during this kind of situations that market provides.
One interesting thought, Devin Bhai, that's there is that despite the increasing flare up in the Middle East, crude oil prices refuse to move above $75 a barrel. Of course, they've moved from $56, which they were 2 months ago. Do you think that this is more than enough, 73, 75, unless, America enters the war and you see a lot of pain over the next 2.5 weeks or maybe a month? What's your view on crude oil from now on?
And I think very difficult to predict how exactly the situation is panning out. Because on one side, the massive war attacks are happening even on the oil fields. And this is going to create a permanent disruption as it is seen. At the same time, I think the logistics for supplying the crude, I think, is also equally getting affected and affected very badly. So in the near term, even though the most of the oil producing field would produce crude, which are alternate to Iran, I would think that still the logistic related problem is not going away, and that could in the near term create a problem. So suppose if that problem is not resolved, then we are in a ugly situation of seeing the crude oil prices going up for no fault of entire global economy except the two nations. So frankly, I would think that one will have to wait and see how exactly it pans out. As of now, as it stands today, most of the refiners, the processors of the crude in India have got, in my understanding, I think sufficient amount of pipeline inventory, which could last till August, I believe, because of the forward contracts that they may have wanted. So from that perspective, they shouldn't be having too much of a worry. But I think suppose if they end up acquiring new contracts at a higher price, then certainly I think it's going to create a lot of challenge, at least on the pricing front for acquisition of crude. If not, I think on the logistics side, it still remains uncertain.
Okay, we'll wait for pre-open to be upon us. Remember, Asia is weak, and the gift nifty also pointing to a mild downtick in opening quotes. We'll have the prices upon us shortly. Remember, it's the weekly expiry of the nifty. Past 5 days, you've seen the index shed about 1.5%, and it opens about 100 points lower as far as the main index is concerned. Let's look at some heavyweights that are moving for behind this move. TCS, a strong show coming in, 1% higher, 3485. You have Reliance, 16 rupees higher, 1445. A green tick on Bajaj Finserv, SBI, Bajaj Finance within the top index heavyweights, but super index heavyweights, HDFC Bank 34 rupees lower, Axis Bank 26 rupees lower, ICICI Bank 11 rupees lower. This will improve for the better. Let's just look at a very quick one on NSE 500, then we'll get back to Devin bhai. Hindustan Zinc 12% lower, 454. This is no, my apologies. Axis Bank is the top traded counter so far, 1.1% lower. You have Indigo 1.1% higher. That's because Air India has curtailed its international operations to the tune of about 15% because of the crisis in West Asia. KPI Tech 0.5% higher. Anything else that I'd like to mark? United Spirits 2% higher. Raymond 2.1% higher. And Godfrey Phillips 1.7% higher. Devin bhai, coming to you, and the PCR will play the long-term chart of Geo Finance. This is a stock that Devin bhai has recommended for a while and is now fairly strongly up about 45% from its most immediate low of 203. Devin bhai, Geo Finance now buying back its payment bank stake from SBI, and the BlackRock venture about to take off. What is your view on Geo Financial Services at this point of time?
Well, I think every business is basically now getting unfolded from the conceiving stage to the implementation stage. I think they have already started the process. Acquiring SBI stakes in the payment bank, I think, is not very surprising given the fact that they are starting their business on the NBFC side in a big way, particularly the retail one. In my report, I think it will get integrated with some of the financial products as well as they start rolling out those products, including the combo products of insurance along with the mutual fund, which they are likely to, I think, be a game changer for the industry as a whole. On the other side, I think they are also launching their app Aladdin, which is BlackRock's main forte. That app is also coming up, and that is also one of the exciting things which could happen to this company because they would integrate the bank along with, and that's where probably the payment processing along with the transaction processing would take place from one single screen, as we understand. Their typical focus is basically staying on acquiring the retail first, along with the B2B customer segment in form of Kirana merchant to begin with and the retail stores along with. I think to begin with, I think this is the game plan appears to be, I think, unfolding. So yes, I think exciting times in my viewpoint. The company looks pretty set for growth from here on.
Okay. Let's look at other parts of the market which are now reacting on the weekly expiry day. A quick look into FNO, and then I'll be back with Devin bhai. BSE is the top traded stock in terms of gainers, 2.5% higher, 2700. Torrent Pharma 2.2% higher. Mannapuram is back on its winning ways, 1.9% higher. Which are the top losers? Okay, Varun Beverages 3% lower. Kotak Bank slipping just a bit. Tata Communications about 1% lower. Bank of India down 1.3%. Devin bhai, coming back to you. At this stage, what are you advising two sets of people? One, your ultra HNI clients who are sitting on large portfolios. They are really worried about how West Asia will shape up. But we've had rate cuts in India as well. A 50 basis point cut about a fortnight ago. That's fueled the rally in NBFCs, and your favorite stock, Bajaj Finance, is theoretically cheaper. A stock split and a bonus, and an affordable price for retail investors. Your view on Bajaj Finance and your advice to HNIs.
So Bajaj Finance remains a compelling story, largely because of the fact that the portfolio of lending is expanding into the new generation of products as well. For example, I think the storage batteries, where the higher amount of growth is being seen, that is an area where probably I think they already created a size of the book which is close to around 15,000 crores out of a total size of about 44 lakh crore AUM book that they have. Now, this could possibly go up in a direction of 40-50,000 crores going forward. So, which could possibly once again create a very large size portfolio for them. In fact, what is good about this company, they systematically tap one segment and they create a large size portfolio of AUM in that particular space, so which is giving them a fairly good stability. Even one thing that I think their two-wheeler financing of Bajaj Auto has gone out of system. At least new financing is not happening now. Still, they are managing to produce the growth in excess of 25% or so. So we remain, I think, distinctly positive about the growth prospect going forward for Bajaj Finance, and believe that every 3 years, 3.5 years, they will hold the potential to double the size of the book from 4 lakh crore to 8 lakh crore from now on in next 3 years time. So that's one positive thing. As far as advice to Chennai investors and the family office is concerned, we tell them that this is a time to buy into individual stocks when some of the good quality stocks are available at a valuation which is compelling. Many of the companies which are in the pre-IPO stage, I think, which are already matured companies waiting for the IPO to come up, those companies are equally interesting for some of these high appetite investors. And that's where probably I think we end up directing them to some of the good quality ideas as well. So we are selective. I'm not saying that I think we are across the board in buying as far as the market is concerned. We also tell them not to trade in this market because momentum is strong, but at the same time, I think it's extremely stark with volatility. So as a result of which, I think the trading could possibly hurt the portfolio if it is carried out beyond a point. A smaller portion of portfolio, agreed, but I think larger portion of the portfolio shouldn't be traded, rather allow it to remain invested. So there are a few basic advice, Shail, I believe, at this point of time.
Ji. Devin bhai, only you can put it into perspective for our viewers. How will the weekly expiry change for the National Stock Exchange to Tuesday, and the Bombay Stock Exchange's weekly expiry shifting to Thursday from Tuesday, change the dynamics for the Bombay Stock Exchange shareholders?
So the game plan appears to be big in my viewpoint, I think, as far as BSE is concerned. They are trying to take over the share in the derivative market, the trading market, which is spilled over from Tuesday expiry, I think, into the Thursday expiry as well. So to an extent, I think you are likely to see Friday to Thursday as busy days during the expiry time for the purpose of, I think, taking over the larger amount of volume, because there would be arbitrage volume which would be spilling out from one to another exchange. And that's what I think they are arguing for. So it appears to me that I think they are possibly taking over a larger game plan at this point of time, taking up the higher amount of stake in this entire volume market as I see it. Whether it will hurt the NSE correspondingly, I don't think so, because I think they would be the originator of the volume. And if they are originator of the volume, then the BSE is the one who is basically absorbing the spillover, that is arbitrage related volume. So both of them are going to complement each other in a way at some point of time. That's what I believe. And as the size of the market starts growing and growing bigger, probably I think both players will have definite say as far as I think the larger amount of business activity is concerned.
Okay. The pre-open is set, ladies and gentlemen, on its weekly expiry day, which is the last for the month of June. Now on 26th, you will have the final monthly expiry. The Nifty has settled flat, 9 points lower. Nifty Bank 43 points lower. The IT index 85 points lower. In terms of top gainers in NSE 500, you have Tata Technologies, 1.2% higher. This is a stock where a lot of deep value buying is happening. Remember, a listing at 1300, an IPO that was oversubscribed dramatically, and a lot of pain for the last 2 years or so. Raymond in top shape, 1.1% higher. I want to see the price of Siemens. The reason why I ask it is because you will have the listing of Siemens Energy, which will be in T2T for the first 10 days. A 1:1 stock split from Siemens means it will be an equal shareholding. So we'll await that as far as the pre-open trades are concerned at 9:45 for the listing entity. Getting back to Devan Bhai. Any favorites in the mid cap and small cap space, Devan Bhai? What looks good for a nice uptick in the next year or so?
Yeah, I think we have been pretty confident about the prospects of Bajaj Housing Finance and also the Tata Technology. both these companies, to me, I think appears to be, I think, a very long-term bet, of course. But at the same time, I think in the corrected price at this point of time, they definitely remain one of the better of the lot, because they have not yet started participating into this momentum of the market either. So I think when this is available, I think one should be inquiring this kind of company in the portfolio, because the remaining fundamentals, which we have discussed in past as well, they remain extremely strong at this point of time. Apart from that, I think we also find companies like Minda, which is basically an automobile ancillary. Given the kind of footprint that they are creating in the EV segment, along with the ICE segment, wherein I think there most of the products rather, I think they remain quite isolated, quite I think independent of which platform the OEMs are actually producing. So they would probably supply each of these products, say lighting systems, seating systems, wheels, etc. They would go either way, whichever vehicle you produce. I think so. They would go into that. We like this company from an investment perspective. Fortunately, available at a corrected valuation as well. But yes, I think they may not be in 1 month, 2 month horizon. These companies are long-term investment for portfolio investors. So one will have to actually study them well and retain them in the portfolio. That's my viewpoint.
Okay. One stock I'd like to take your view on is Sona Comstar. A very unfortunate and sudden departure of the owner promoter, Mr. Sanjay Kapoor, has put the stock in a negative spiral at 470, and the all-time high is somewhere like 840. Would you have a long-term view on Sona Comstar? This is an auto ancillary that is really big in the EV space, a supplier to Tesla.
Yes, I think that is a good prospect, I think, for this company, and I think they will probably expand the footprint, I think, to many other OEMs. That is what one would like to take. However, since we don't have the coverage of the stock, I would refrain from putting across any view related to, I think, the valuations or the further prospects of the company.
Okay. Anything else that you would like to point out in the large cap space that looks attractive to you, given the rate cut that we've had and the fact that fourth quarter earnings have been fairly decent? One large cap outperformer that you have in mind?
So the big is getting bigger. That is a theory which we have been talking about all along, and this is now playing out well with some of the large cap banks. You can possibly talk about SBI or HDFC banks. Both of them are talking growth in the vicinity of 15% plus. Larger the size of the AUM, I think higher the ability to corner even the other income portfolio of the banks, which is other than NII portfolio. So we believe that I think for 40% odd kind of other income contribution, they could possibly, I think, have relatively higher amount of contribution coming from other income, which is commission and the fees along with the transaction charges. So I guess I think that's where probably these companies are relatively more stable. At the same time, I believe that I think they would be in a much better position to extend the loan book, which is of a large size, to the larger borrower, and at the same time, I think it would be a competitive rate. So they would be the only one probably, I think, giving that kind of opportunity. Unless some of the other smaller and mid-sized banks consolidate, I believe that I think likes of SBI, likes of NDFC, likes Axis, ICICI, they may remain relatively more stronger compared to others. And of course, we have talked about the NBFC, larger NBFCs like the Geofin and Bajaj Finance. I think we remain confident about their prospects.
Okay. The pre-open rates are upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just pay attention to the market a bit. 40 points lower on the Nifty, 24,775. A red tick, 0.5% lower on the Nifty IT index, down 200 points. The Bank Nifty has started on the back foot, 100 points lower. Let's look at the index heavyweights. What is pulling the Nifty down? Okay. It's Reliance, 3 rupees lower, 1427. TCS 7 rupees 30 lower, 34.43. Okay. You have Infosys 11 rupees lower, 16.21. In the green is Axis Bank, 2 rupees 80 higher at 12.24. This is the only stock in the green as far as the 10 index heavyweights are concerned. A very quick look on NSE 500. Bharti Airtel, 0.5% higher, 1876. Kotak Bank, 1/3% higher. I don't see anything worthwhile in top traded. Okay. In top gainers, you have 1.4% uptick on 361 Wealth. Okay. You have Tata Technologies 1.3% higher. There's nothing much in the market. It's an absolutely flat opening. The Nifty is trying to battle 24,800. Bulls are trying to take it away. Any all-time highs in early deals? Nothing at all. It's a very quiet market. Nothing is buzzing in terms of volume. There is a block deal on IKS. I'm not sure whether we can show you the stock price or not. 2.84% higher. Any best trades that I can point out in early deals? Yuken Auto. This is an automobile company. 11.59 up 5%. This is a circuit that is there upon us. Absolutely flat trade. There is nothing that I can point out. Let's get the market on a greater detail. Let me see what's happening in defense. Data patterns 1.3% higher, 3041. BDL 0.5% higher. Midhani 0.5% higher. How about shipbuilders? Mazgaon, Garden Reach and Cochin are in the green. How about high beta stocks? Anything that catches my fancy? Okay. R Systems 4.6% higher, 460. This is a mid cap IT company. There is a green tick on Policy Bazaar, about 1% higher, 1909. Geofinance flat, nothing happening there. How about rail stocks? We are also waiting for Mitesh Panchal to join us. Okay, rail stocks, nothing much happening here. Kernex Microsystems, the maker of Kavach anti-collision device, 1.2% higher, 1220. BEL is in top shape, 0.46% higher, 40225, near a fresh record high. PSU banks are moving. The PSU rally is fairly deep set. You have Gujarat Gas 1.2% higher, ITDC 0.5% higher, GIC Ray, this is the public sector insurance company, 1.1% higher, 375. What else is moving? I don't see any much changes happening. How about capital goods? I want to see the stock price of Siemens. Yes, Siemens is flat, 33.59. Nothing much happening here. In capital goods, Power India is about 1% higher. And what else is happening? How about hotels and hospitals? This is a space that was buzzing with green. Taj GVK 1.7% higher, topping 401. Medanta in the green 1.4% higher, 1188. Let's look at the broader markets also at this point of time. You have an advanced decline ratio favoring bears. This is the weekly expiry, so you will see that happening. 1431 shares are in the red, 810 that are in the green. You have just 3 out of 19 indices trading in the green. Auto index is the top gainer, 0.3% higher. In terms of losers, you have the IT index down 0.7%. You have the Nifty PSU index on the banking side, 0.5% lower. The metals index is down 0.4%. That's how the markets are at this point of time. Moves coming into Mazgaon dock, now 0.8% higher, ladies and gentlemen. The government is now working towards expanding the ship making industry, manufacturing industry in India. They've set up a panel. This is a media report at a paper, and that's for deepening the manufacturing of large ships in India, and the two public sector shipbuilders, Garden Reach and Cochin Shipyard, are will be amongst the biggest beneficiaries. At this point of time, 3273 on Marsdown Dock, heading towards a record high. Nothing much happening in terms of broader markets, and this is also the right time to welcome Mr. Mitesh Panchal, a very well known chartist and technical analyst with us. Namaste to you, Mitesh Bhai, and a very, very warm welcome to you. How do you see the Nifty at this point of time? It's hemmed into a 500 400 point trading range, not moving below 24,700 and not moving above 25,200. What's your prognosis on the index?
Yeah, so as far as index is concerned, Sergi, first of all, good morning to you. Good morning to all the viewers. As far as indices are concerned, we are stuck in the range. So going forward, we continue to remain in the range. We are of the view that probably indices need a leadership, and that leadership will provided probably by the frontline banks and Reliance. That's what we see as of now. So going forward, probably if the Nifty closes above 25,000, then only we will see a psychological reversal on that, and probably after that there will be a target of 25,500, 25,800, and on the downside 24,500 is a big support. So far so good. It's a range bound between 24,500 on the downside and 25,000 on the upside.
Okay, 922. Let's look at the winners, but it's a rally on the defense counters, as I have been pointing out in my opening commentary, which is now gaining attention. You have Marsdown Dock 1.1% higher, trying to reclaim its all-time high. Cochin Shipyard up 1.3%, 2170. BEL and BDL in top form. Without further delay, let's get to Mitesh Bhai. Mitesh Bhai, your top pick on the defense part.
BEML. Just as a disclaimer, we have recommended this stock before few days to our clients. Our client might have direct or indirect position, but if you look at the entire defense, I think BEML is looking pretty interesting as of now. And we are of the view that going forward, once the stock crosses 4,500, 4,500, then there are strong possibilities of stock testing 4,800, 5,200. So yes, BEML as of now is a good to go.
Okay. Just a reminder, the stock was at 2,700, 2,600 on 7th of April. On May 9th, when the crisis between India and Pakistan erupted, it was at 2990 and at the moment 4462. The all-time high on BEML is 5491, something that we had seen on July 2024. So with that background in mind, please keep an eye out on BEML. Any other changes that are happening? Yes, Mitesh Bhai, a view on Muthoot Finance and Mannapuram Finance. These are two gold financing scheme companies that are running at record highs. How would you look at these two?
Yeah, so as far as Muthoot Finance is concerned, I think there is a clear-cut breakout about 2,600. So it's a good to go with a stop of 2,600 for the potential target of 2,750, 2,800. And as far as Manappuram is concerned, I think, yes, the stock is again gaining momentum both on daily and weekly chart. So from the current level, but we can expect at least 5 to 7% upside.
Okay. What else, Mitesh Bhai, in your weekly commentary to your clients have you advised? BEML, of course, you've talked about, but broader themes which you feel are doing or are likely to do well in the market based on charts and technical analysis?
Yeah, so if you look at the private banks, some of the private banks are now coming on the surface and providing a good cushion. First is a Bandhan Bank. I think the base it has formed between 160 to 180 is really very interesting. Above 185, we see a very strong reversal in Bandhan Bank, and probably going forward, stock will enter into a new trading range between 200 to 250. So there is a big upside what we are looking at in Bandhan as of now. Apart from that, I think 197, that is Paytm, is also doing good. So from 850 onwards, the stock is making a strong heart of heart bottom formation both on daily and weekly chart. So Paytm is also good to go at 892 with a stop of 850 for the potential target of 900, 950. And I think in the small ticket stock, I think one need to be very careful, but I'm just for the sake of analysis, and since it appears on the surface, so I'm discussing. It's a Reliance Power at 64. I think above 58 there is a strong breakout. So above 60 the stock is forming heart of heart bottom formation both on monthly and quarterly chart. And now above 65 it is looking promising. So with a tight stop loss of 65, one can go long in Reliance Power for the potential target of 70 to 75.
Okay, I'll request the PCI to kindly show the chart of Asahi India Glass. Again, a very, very well known and auto ancillary which has created phenomenal wealth for long term shareholders, is now 5.5% higher at about 807.5. It's rising for the last 5 days in a row, and is now at a multi-month high. Last time you've seen this prices, it was September of 2024. So 3 plus 6, it's a 9-month high on Asahi India Glass. What are the charts telling you here, Mitesh bhai?
Clear-cut breakout strategy above 750, a very strong chart pattern supported with volume. Generally, in these kind of stocks, volume generally disappear after a breakout, but that is not happening as of now. So yes, one can eye at a 4-digit figure going forward. So with a stop of 750, one can go long for the potential target of 950 and 1000 in near to a long term. That is in the 3 to 6 months horizon. I think 4-digit is possible.
Okay, let's also look at two other stocks that are doing extremely well. One is Schneider Electric. This is from the capital goods space. Remember, about 3 weeks ago, the company had announced a capacity expansion plan. And one more stock that is in top shape for the moment with Schneider Electric is Power India. What are the charts of these two telling you, Mitesh bhai?
Yeah, so I think as far as G power is concerned, above 308, it's a very good breakout. So around 315, 320 is the near-term target for the stock as far as 1 or 2 days concerned. But if you're not talking about the swing trade, and if you're talking about a bit of a longer horizon, then we can eye at 340, 350. The other stock, Power Mac, is concerned, I think Power India, sorry. So Power India is again the comfort is coming based on the weekly chart. So from the current level, one can eye at around 5 to 7% upside in the stock.
Okay, a couple of news points that I'd like to bring out. Tata Technologies has informed exchanges and its shareholders that it has been chosen as a key supplier by Volvo Cars. Remember, Tata Technologies is a niche software developer. It works extensively with global car makers as also in the aerospace. It has few customers compared with broader and generic software developers, but each engagement at Tata Technologies is bigger and wider. Aarti Industries, it's informed shareholders that Director General for Trade has started an anti-dumping inquiry into para-nitroline imports from EU, and that's the reason why you see a mild uptick that is happening. Apart from that, Tilaknagar Industries says that it's trying to raise $500 million to acquire the Imperial Blue brand from Pernod Ricard. So these are the top 3 news items that have come in. And one more stock that I'll request Mitesh bhai to see is Data Patterns. Again, a defense play, 3,095, 3.5% higher, doing extremely well.
Yeah. So data pattern at 3085. If you look at the daily and the weekly chart pattern, the confirmation has come about 2,950 above. So once the stock has given a close about 2950, the stock has given a very steady up move, heart of hard bottom formation both on hourly and daily chart. So it looks like that the stock is now entering into a new trading range. Upside target will be 3200, 3300 in near term.
Okay. Now let's look at two other stocks. Mitesh bhai, your view on AB Capital. This is NBFC that has a tailwind of a rate cut and a very large block deal that happened about a fortnight ago at a record high. What are the longer term charts of AB Capital telling you? This is a 10-year breakout that has come in.
Yes, very right. I think Aditya Birla Capital, even since last a month or so, the stock is buzzing. On the weekly chart, also the stock is looking pretty promising. If I look at the longer term chart, that is probably monthly and quarterly charts, about 260 Shailji, there is a breakout. So we'll have to wait for 4 more rupees. So once the stock closes about 260, it's a clear cut breakout. And then going forward, the stock has the potential to reach up to a level of 320. So I will wait for a level of 260 to get broken out on the upside. Once it give me a close above 260 on the daily chart, yes, it's a good to go with a target of 320.
Okay, 9:32. The first 15 minutes have lapsed as far as trade is concerned. We have a fresh high on Asahi India Glass 811. Asahi India manufactures windshields and has a disproportionate majority market share in this business. Now 813.8. It's moving up rapidly. What else would I like to point out? Okay, parts of the railway stocks are doing pretty well. You have RailTel at its day's high, 0.5% higher, 429.3. Siemens, a stock that I've been marking since morning, 0.5% higher. Let's look at the volume buzzers because 15 minutes have lapsed. We'll have some move coming in. Anything out of the ordinary? Okay, it's Asahi India Glass only. Now 815. The breakout is getting better and better. 12.6 lakh shares have been traded, which is 7.7 times the 5-day average. So it's a massive breakout. Another check on the charts, Mitesh bhai, on Asahi India.
See, again, if I look at the 15 minutes participation, it looks like, Sajil, that the upside is here to stay for a longer period of time. Because generally, when the breakout appears in this kind of a stock, the stock generally try to rally at least 50 to 20%. So that's what we have advocated in terms of our target, that 4-digit is here to stay. And probably there is no surprise if the stock today hits a 20% or 10% a percent, because the kind of volume which we are witnessing in last 15 minutes is something unusual. So yes, it's a good to go. I think 1000 is here to stay.
Okay, 816.7. In the last 4 or 5 minutes, we've seen the stock adding about 12 rupees to its overall tally. Let's shift focus. I'll show you some good stocks in top form. Again, Muthoot Finance record high 26.45, 0.5% higher. This is something that is doing extremely well. I think in terms of top performance, it's the auto stocks that are doing extremely well. This is also a time to look at the Nifty pullers or draggers. Remember, weekly expiries are flat, but stocks that are helping the Nifty on its way up. On the auto side, M&M 1% higher, 3071. This is also moving towards its record high. Titan, after ages, we've seen Titan 1% higher. Bharti Airtel, Axis Bank, and Kotak are the others that are pulling the Nifty up. On its way down, the Nifty is being helped by Infosys, TCS Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech, and hold your breath, Adani Ports. Adani Ports, Mitesh Bhai, to you, and I'll request the PCR to kindly fire the long-term chart of Adani Ports. 6 days ago, the stock was at a high of 1470. Adani is getting beaten, and beaten on fairly heavy volumes because its port in Israel, in Haifa, has been hit by Iranian missiles. A bit of negativity on this one, and at 1353, the stock is at its lowest since May 12th. Your prognosis, Mitesh Bhai?
Yeah, so as far as if you look at the entire Adani Pack since last 3 months, it is absolutely quiet. I mean, the rally on the upside is not sustaining. Somehow, if the stock is going up by 2 or 3%, any Adani Pack stock is getting hammered next day. So we are of the view that the entire pack is in the consolidation phase. As far as Adani Port is concerned, about 1320, it's a comfort to go long, because that was the strong resistance on the weekly chart which has taken out. So above 1320, the stock is maintaining its head above that level. So yes, at 1351, I will be a buyer with a stop of 1320 for the intraday target, or for, sorry, the short-term target, assumed target of 1318 and 1400. So as of now, I think on the chart, nothing beyond 1400 is visible, because the stock is trading in a very tight range. Once it starts trading above 1400, probably we can have a relook. But yes, as of now, I will be a buyer with a stop of 1320.
Okay. Anything else that you would want to highlight on charts after the first 20 minutes of trade?
Yeah, three stocks I would like to highlight. First is TVS Motors at 2811. It's a pretty strong breakout, about 2800. So TVS Motor is one stock which I would like to buy for the swing trade with a stop of 2800 for the potential target of intraday target of 2030 and a positional target of 2850. A second is Aisha Motor at 5459. 5,459. The stock is looking promising. So with a stop of 5,400, 5,400, I will go long in Aisha Motor with a target of 5,500 intraday and 5,550 for the positional. And third, Sona BLW. Which is also looking promising at 485. So with a stop of 485, 480, Shailji, I will go long in Sona BLW for the potential target of 490 intraday and 495 positional. So three stocks are looking promising. First is TVS Motor, second is Aisha Motor, and third is Sona BLW.
Okay. All favorites from the auto space. Mitesh जी, आपने बिल्कुल कोई ध्यान टाटा मोटर्स पर नहीं दिया. यहाँ पर आप समझिए कि 674 is a very very painful time for Tata Motors. What are you watching on the charts?
सर अनफॉर्चुनेटली शैल जी, टाटा मोटर्स जो है उसका चार्ट में एक कंफर्ट नहीं बैठता है अभी भी, बिकॉज एवरी रैली ऑन द अपसाइड इज बीन सोल्ड इनटू एंड द स्टॉक इज अनेबल टू सस्टेन अबव 750. सो आवर key target for the reversal is 750. Unless and until if the stock is not giving close above 750 on a weekly chart, we will not touch the stock, despite the fact that it's a good Tata company. But unfortunate part is this, that the stock is not picking up the space. So as of now, we will leave it. Once it start trading above 750, we will definitely think about taking it, and with a view of either trading or investment. But so far, we are avoiding it.
Okay. Some other stocks that I'd like to mark which are in good shape is Ireda. It's also moved out of the FNO ban, and the chart is now, okay, days low, nothing much happening here, 164. Anything else that catches my fancy? Let me just check with you and get back. Meanwhile, Swan Energy, 434.15. Keep an eye out on this stock. Sona Comstar getting back into focus. An unfortunate and tragic development with the company's owner, a tragic death while playing polo, had hit sentiment on the stock. But seems value buying at 487. Remember, all-time high was 870 on Sona Comstar. What else is moving? Sterlite Technologies, 4.9% higher amongst the top traded list, almost 110 for you. Vishal Mega Mart, 1.9% higher, 125 for you. We've discussed Asahi, Reliance Infra, again from the Reliance Anil Ambani pack, 4.5% higher, 406 data patterns, and of course Jubilant Ingravia. This is also a quasi pharma chemical stock that is in good shape. What else would I like to point out which can get the attention of Mitesh ji? Two MNC FMCG giants, ladies and gentlemen, we never talk about. Gillette India is now in 5 digits, 10,546. It's reclaiming its lost glory, now at a record high. You've seen this move earlier on 25th of November. And Procter & Gamble Health and Hygiene, PGHH, now trying to come up back in action, well below 200-day DMA, but today's gains are 76 rupees. But it's shipbuilders, shipbuilders and shipbuilders. Garden Reach Shipbuilders. Mitesh bhai, is a record high coming back?
Yes, sir. Record high is coming back, and probably not just record high, but the stock will give you extraordinary surprises going forward. So last time we discussed that generally the old heroes will not come back into the new rally. But I think this is the pack which is coming back. That is Muscat Dock is coming back. Garden Shipyard is coming back. Kochi is coming back. So I think this time these stocks have full majority of the market participants.
Yes.
But we are of the view that this rally in these stocks will surprise by a big margin strategy. This is just a beginning. Probably sooner than later we may discuss about Kochi Shipyard at 5,000.
Absolutely. क्या बात है. I'm going to save this and I'll request the PCR to kindly fire the long term chart of Cochin Shipyard for 2 reasons, ladies and gentlemen. One, both Mazgaon and Garden Reach have hit record highs. Okay, and Cochin is way below its all-time high of 2961, which we had seen in July of 2024. It then slumped all the way back to 1300 rupees, and because of this problem that we are seeing with India and Pakistan, globally we've seen a lot of issues, and the fact that shipbuilding capacity across the world is constrained apart from China is the reason why you have a very strong up move coming into all 3 shipbuilders. So keep an eye out on this one, and as Mitesh bhai says, you'll see a better price on this one. I won't mention the price, but you need to go back in the story to see what he has mentioned. Okay, 2 more stocks from the Sarkari stable. NICL, the New India Assurance Company Limited, trying to climb above 200-day DMA, and GIC Ray, again an insurance player, trying to bounce off its 365-day moving average. Keep an eye out on these 2 as well. Anything that catches my fancy, let me just see any top gainers that we can disturb Mitesh bhai with a view on. Okay, we don't want to mention these stocks on air. They're a bit dangerous. How about new highs? Axis Gates, yes. This is a defense play, and 5 back-to-back circuits of 5% each. So with a pinch of salt, we'll take a look at this record high. Mitesh bhai, what are the charts telling you?
So far so good. Heart of our bottom formation, no complaints on any time frame, be it a monthly or a daily or a weekly. So let's see when the circuit gets opened up, so that we can get an opportunity to participate. But in this kind of stock, generally, Shailji, the rally is one way. So any a fall comes going forward should be definitely a buying opportunity.
Okay, okay, fine. So that's how Mitesh Bhai describes it. Anything that else I'd like to mark? Yes, AU Bank. This needs to be checked. There is a breakout on AU Bank. It seems to have broken out of a 10-week zone. Let me just recheck this. No, why 10 week? It's at a record high. Okay. AU Bank 804, ladies and gentlemen, it was at 513 on 7th of April. So that's a massive rally. Mitesh Bhai, are you chasing a record high on AU Bank, or would you stay away?
I will, because again, this is the only bank within the entire peer comparison which is trading at a lifetime high. So you have mentioned very smartly about Gillette and PGHH. Similarly, this stock looks me like GH and PG Gillette and PGHH. I think a small finance bank likely to hit a new high going forward in 4 digits. So I will be a buyer with a stop of 750 for the potential target of 1,000, just to ensure that the target is not going to come sooner. So you'll have to wait for 3 to 6 months.
Okay. Again, Siemens, I'll request the PCI to show it. Up for the last 5 sessions in a row. Consecutive gains, 27 rupees higher, 3383. I'll bring it to your attention for 2 reasons. One, the and the energy division of Siemens Limited has been demerged. Original shareholders of Siemens Limited have got 1:1 share of Siemens Energy that is getting listed today. It will be in T2T for the next 10 days, and let us see how it goes. But for the moment, 45 points higher on the Nifty on its weekly expiry, 24,856, and there is another breakout on BEML, which was the top pick that Mitesh Bhai had suggested in his opening commentary. 4561, 2.7% higher. Mitesh Bhai, another check on the charts of BEML. This is a breakout that has taken it to its highest since July 31st. All-time high is 4583.
Yeah, so if somebody has missed the earlier show, you can again buy it even at the current level. I will recommend even at the current level at 4554. One can go long with a stop of 4500 for the potential target of 4600, 4700. This rally is here to stay for a longer period of time. So don't be in a hurry to book the profit.
Okay, so this is how should I say, a positional long call that Mitesh ji has given on BEML. What is the volume? 150 crore shares worth 150 crore rupees have been traded. Okay, Masgaon 3323 again at days high. Hindustan Aeronautics 5027 days high. So defense is on the offense. It's doing very, very well in today's markets. What else is clicking that can get Mitesh Bhai's attention? Let me just check on the market. Okay, Subros Limited. This is also an auto ancillary. Almost all air conditioners that you see on Indian cars are made by Subros, especially in Maruti cars. Record high for you, 948. Mitesh ji, what are the charts telling you?
A very strong chart pattern both on daily and a weekly chart. So Subros likely to get into a new trading range. I think it's a trend reversal at a higher level. So if you look at the last 6 months chart, or probably 9 months chart, above 850, the stock has given a strong breakout. So above 850, the stock is forming a higher bottom formation. And as of now, with a stop of 900, 900 at 945 CMP, you can go long for the potential target of 1050 and 1100.
Okay. Today is the day, ladies and gentlemen, where auto ancillaries are in top shape. We track at least 45 to 48 auto ancillaries, and across the board, there is a massive rally. UCAN India 1184, 7.3% higher. You have Sandhar Technologies, 545, 3.9% higher. Forging company Nelcast, 3% higher, 142. ASK Auto Limited, 2% higher, 462. Shanti Gears from the Murugappa stable, 1.6% higher, 522. So this is a theme that you need to keep in mind, and across the board capital goods are coming back into focus. Power India, something that we've discussed. Thermax Limited, 2.8% higher. GE Transmission and Distribution, 2.2% higher. A strong move coming into Crompton Greaves Power, Siemens India, and of course Cummins. So across the board, a smart move coming in. There is no stopping Asahi India. Now 820. Remember, we started to discuss this stock below 800 before this in this show, and giving company in the defense space is BEL. Mitesh bhai, this has been your favorite and a market favorite for now close to 3.5 years. Record high just 2 days ago, 407, 408. What are the long-term charts of BEL telling you?
Now you can put this stock in the evergreen category, Shailji, at least for the next 3 to 4 years. So I think any dip going forward should be bought into in BEL. Long-term charts are pretty strong, advocating a target of 450 and 480.
Okay, 450, 480 for us. And again, for the lack of anything better, because this is sticking, Bharat Dynamics. Nowadays high, 1944, 2% higher. All-time high was almost 2100 that we saw a week ago. So that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Powering ahead, defense, counters, all PSU stocks here in the green. BDL, BEL, BEML, Mazgaon, Cochin, Garden Reach are the 6 that I can, and HAL, all 7 doing phenomenal uptick on the charts. ITC, something that we very rarely discuss, is also rearing its heads up. 417 for you. Let's look at the ITC chart. I haven't seen it for many weeks. Okay, below 200-day DMA. Mitesh bhai, any hope for bulls?
Above 450 only, Shailji. Till then, the stock will move in the range of 380 on the downside, on the upside. And being a foodie guy, both you and me, how can we forget to discuss, not to discuss about Swiggy, which is again making heart of higher bottom formation since last a week or so, right? So if you look at the chart pattern of Swiggy also, I'm in phenomenal run. So it's a phenomenal comeback from the lower end of the range. So Shailji, this is the stock which one should look at with a stop of 365 for the potential target of 390, 400. A very strong comeback from the lower end.
Okay. Swiggy is something that we will look forward to again. But amongst the stops that we've highlighted, look at AU Bank, fresh high, 1.6% higher, 807. This is moving very rapidly. And GVTND, this is the GE venture that's now, okay. Needless to say, we'll see a record high fairly soon. The most recent high was 2490. The way the stock is galloping, it's fairly obvious we'll see another one. On 7th of April, it was at 1300 rupees, ladies and gentlemen, and now at 2400 rupees. So it's a 90% uptick in 2 months. If you're a good technical analyst, you should have caught about 30% of this rally. Okay, What else would I want to highlight now that Mitesh Bhai is here with us? Let's do some quality checks. Okay, Cosmo first. Not many people talk about this stock, but it's making waves in the market. Is today flat, 1.1% higher, but in the last 5 weeks, the stock has moved from 750 to 1230. So keep an eye out on this one as well. Uh, I don't want to mention this stock on air. Maybe DMart volume and delivery burst yesterday. Not much to be discussed on DMart, Miteshji, but still a view.
Yeah, so I think DMart is yesterday's price action was really encouraging. So the stock is now trading above its immediate hurdle of 4180, which is a promising sign. So probably we can hit for 4500. One stock which I would like to discuss, LG, again is Paras Defense. Look at the rally in last 10 minutes. Amazing. Paras Defense at 1711. So the stock has started moving from 1680 and hitting new highs on an intraday basis. So that is one stock which one should look at. Probably the stop would be at 1680 and intraday target would be at 1750, 1780. So Paras Defense is looking promising.
Okay, 9:57, time to wrap up this show. And what else we are looking at? Okay, Mitesh bhai, your closing comments for Nifty weekly expiry today, and maybe a broader view on some other index. On the index level, we are caught up between this narrow trading range for no fault of ours. This crisis in the Middle East, rising crude oil prices have, made a very painful job for Nifty traders, but sectorally defense is moving. Mitesh ji, final view, final comments, closing comments.
Probably, Sanjay, today it might surprise us and Nifty will end up the expiry at 25,000. So what I am looking at is probably 200 points of an upside today itself. So I'm waiting for an hourly candle to form, which is at 10:15. So at 10:15, if the indices that cash, that is the spot level, closes about 24,800, then I am pretty sure that I would like to go long for an intraday target of 25,000 today. So if an hourly chart, if Nifty spot gives us a close about 24,800, it's a good to go for 200 points rally today.
Okay. Thank you, Mitesh bhai. And of course, we'll remember the three auto stocks that you talked about, Sona Comstar, Aisha, and TVS Motors, plus the strong view that you gave on BEML. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting.
We'll call it a day, ladies and gentlemen. 9:58, weekly expiry on the index. Flat as flat can be, 27 points higher on the Nifty. 24,800 is back with the bulls. Likely short covering towards the latter part of the day. But what is on top form is actually are the 7 public sector defense counters. Mascot Dock, all of them at a day's high. Bharat Dynamics above 1940, Masgaon Dock above 3334, a strong move coming into BEL above 402, Cochin Shipyard trying to pierce 2200, Garden Reach trying to reclaim its all-time high, and of course who can forget Hindustan Aeronautics. So all 7 in them showing strong gains. Apart from that, it's a low volume market. We are just constrained by the crisis in the Middle East, rising crude oil prices. सब कुछ जो है वो global है जो हमें परेशान कर रहा है. Local markets are fine in good sentiment. Finally, Siemens Energy pre-opening is 2850. This is a 1:1 demerger that happened for shareholders of Siemens Limited. At 2850, ladies and gentlemen, the market capitalization of Siemens Energy is about 95,000 crore rupees. We'll leave you with that wonderful thought. Stay glued to Business Today Television. Back by 2.
It was one of the darkest days in the history of Indian aviation.